This is Boxing Tickets NA. We are here at the Europa Hotel. It's fight day in Belfast, and a rare occasion. Obviously, I get to obviously interview a fighter prior to the fight on fight day, but delighted to be joined with Eoghan Lavin on. Obviously, weight's made. Obviously, you've had breakfast and things this morning. I'm sure you're delighted to be making your Irish debut. Obviously, on home soil. Obviously, I guess it's a long way from home for you, but delighted to making obviously your first appearance as a pro in Ireland.
Yeah, definitely. At least it's on the island, so I've got a good crowd driving up later on. I'm excited just to get in and fight. It's good just being back in Ireland to get a fight because it's a step closer to hopefully a lot of shows to come in Ireland in the future. Hopefully soon down south a bit.
I guess that's the dream for you now. You're having your first sort of taste of it. The air still smells like Ireland, sort of in a way. It's not in England, sort of thing. So you're closer to home in some degrees. Um, Obviously, for you on fight day, I guess it's just waiting about, isn't it? Now it's getting in there and getting it over and done with. I think you're scheduled to be in around about 5:30 or so. Is it just these last couple of hours now that are probably painful for you in a way? You just want to get in there and fight and get it over and done with, and probably get back to normality for a few days.
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I'm fairly chill during fight day. And I've good lads around me that they know they've been in this situation a lot, plenty of times themselves. So they understand the day. They understand, and I understand. You can wait around too long, you can get sluggish, whatnot. But yeah, I'm feeling all right now. It's I think 3 o'clock. We're heading over to the venue, so we'll just probably go for a walk, have a little bit to eat again, and head off and just focus on doing the job.
I guess you're probably in some ways it's probably similar to you from the amateurs where you're getting fights regularly. Obviously, you only made your debut at the end of April. You're obviously getting another fight in quick succession. Obviously, this is what you want. Probably you want to be don't want to have too much hanging about. You want to be kept busy, and I guess Project Boxing 258 and David obviously are doing the very best to get you out as regularly as possible.
Yeah. Look, I think Queensbury, we had that understanding with Queensbury. That activity for me was key, and they were keen on me being active, especially my first year being kept busy. From the amateur side of things, for the last so many years was inactivity and messing about, little injuries, COVID, everything else. There was so much inactivity that just being active now as a pro, I'm just developing. I'm developing loads week in, week out in the gym. But fights is key to that. There's no point in being in the gym for weeks and weeks and weeks and having no fight at the end of it to test where you're at. So obviously I feel I've improved a bit since the debut. I'm getting back sharp, getting back improving each week. So now it's just gonna put in a performance and being back out again soon enough. In quick fire and just back in the gym next week, maybe the following week, and just keep improving, just keep improving, keep putting in good performances.
Well, when we sort of look back, obviously I haven't spoke to you obviously after your debut and your call. Like, obviously I watched the fight back. Obviously they put it up afterwards, but when you sort of look back on your debut, how happy were you with the performance? We're obviously seeing flashes of what you can do, but I guess when you know you have an opponent in there that's going to be durable and is going to last the distance, sometimes you're probably coming away thinking I wanted to stop him and things like that. Like, how do you assess your debut?
Yeah, look at that. Obviously, we talk about I'm an explosive. I can punch. I punch very big, but I learn a lot from being around. I go to a lot of boxing shows and stuff like that, and as a pro, at the end of the day, just getting put in a solid performance and getting a good win. It's more important than a KO on the record. They'll come. They will come, especially over more rounds. I'm not going in rushing looking for knockouts even tonight. I'm not going in. If there's one there, by all means, if there's a knockout there to be taken, I'll take it. And if there is a knockout to be set up, I'll have it set up. If I can't knock him out, no one will. But it's with the debut. Yeah, after it, I was a little bit. I was like, I wasn't happy with my performance. I am critical of my own performances. I'm very tough on, because I know what I am capable of. I know I'm capable of fucking, turning on and making big differences in fights. But I think in these kind of fights, you got tough, durable men. Sometimes you get in reckless. You blow a gasket or something like that. You don't know what can happen in a fight. So sometimes when you're in control. I talked to Vasif after the fight. He was telling me, he's like, I hit very, very hard. He was telling me, he said, you're definitely going to start knocking lads out. He told me I'm going to knock this lad out, but he had said it. He said, if he thought he could come and have a go, he was going to come and have a go. And he said he felt the power, and I kept manners on him. And we've seen that with him before, that he did come and have a go, and he got draws and whatnot off different lads. The same with this lad. This lad will come 100% come to have a go. So hopefully that'll make an exciting fight. So this boy's he's not a bad opponent at all. He's gave a lot of good prospects, matchroom prospects, different lads. He's gave a lot of them hassle. He drew the night actually. I boxed in York Hall. He had a draw that night. So we're not looking for a draw tonight.
When you sort of, I guess, when you have an opponent there, like, is it Mamedov? Is that the name? Vasif Mamedov.
Yeah.
When you have an opponent afterwards like that, where he's giving you the praise, like sometimes in boxing, obviously, journeyman gets slated for the role, and obviously he's a very durable and experienced professional as well. Like, do you take a lot of confidence sort of from that, where he's giving you sort of tips in some ways where, some fighters might go, I don't want tips off a journeyman, but a journeyman's probably the best person to learn from.
100%, because even after the fight, I was saying with Anthony, I think I hurt him a couple of times, and he was like, "Yeah, you did." He's like, "You did." He said, "You caught him, whatever. You hurt them." But they're very, like, they're professionals at hiding when they're hurt, and getting through the rounds. Like Vasif is, if you look at his record, someone might start laughing at his record. Nobody stops him. He doesn't get stopped, and he boxed again the following week, and got through it handy. But to hear him actually say it in his own words that I was hurting him, and then right, okay, you can trust yourself a little bit more, that I can when I let it rip on these lads. Even I know I hit hard, but sometimes you're thinking, right, do I hit it hard enough to hurt these proper seasoned pros? But ask him and he says I do. So and it's not like I'll box them all day long, but to trust, I know I have that power that if I want to take him out, I can go in and take him out. But 4 rounds is valuable as well, especially learning coming through where I'm at now. I'm hoping to have a lot of fights in my record, so them rounds is going to stand to me later on in my career. And once I start stepping up 6-8 rounds, them 4 rounds each time is going to stand to me. So I've no obviously a KO, if there's one there, I'll be taking it. And I'm known for a more aggressive style. Even as an amateur, I was known I love a brawl, but sometimes you just got to be disciplined and listen to your corner and listen to what they're telling you. If they're telling me, by all means, go out and take them out, I'm going out to take them out. So I'll be just doing as I'm instructed. I have full faith in my team, so if I don't listen to them, I'm wasting my time.
How's things obviously been going with obviously Ant so far? Obviously, I think since we last spoke, obviously, I think he's now become a world champion trainer. Am I correct in that as well? Yeah. So now obviously you just don't have a coach, you've obviously a world champion coach as well. Like, how's everything been going with Anthony? Obviously everything I guess you expected. Like, now you can sort of go, I'm actually being trained by a world champion trainer. Like, how's things been going with Anthony?
Good, yeah. He tells us he's in the limited club where he was a world champion himself, and he's a world champion coach now. So he's got a nice pedigree to him. But look, world champion or not, I know since I worked with him when I was an amateur. He's a gifted coach. He's gifted eyes. He reads fights very well. I'd be cheeky enough to say he's a much better coach than he was a fighter. But he, I think we worked very well, and we got Ian Harrison in the gym as well, who I find brilliant too. So the gym is thriving. You got Rhiannon obviously won a world title, and you got the Croft boys joining. So you have I think 6 or 7 of us all around the one weight now. So the spars is flowing, the gym is thriving, and everyone's bouncing off each other. So I find week in, week out, I'm improving loads, and it's just great being around them. There's good vibes with them. Just a good group of lads, and Rhiannon.
I guess obviously it's important as well that obviously you can fit in a gym. Obviously you're a long way sort of from home, and sometimes it can be hard. Obviously being homesick and things like that. Like you have to make sure you're in that right environment, and it seems to be obviously from what people can see online, the relationship between Ant and Rhiannon, obviously post fight and things like that, where they're taking hand of each other. That's an environment you need to be in so that you can really enjoy your boxing, because you could very quickly easily go, I'm not enjoying this. I want to go home. I'm homesick. I want to be in Ireland. So that's a very important environment for you to be in.
It is, because it's far from an easy sport, it's far from an easy gig. The training sessions are heavy, they're brutal. You have spars, you could have a very bad spar, you could just have some bad rounds where you're coming home from the thing, and only boxers will understand it when you have a bad spar mentally when you're coming back what it is. But if you have a bad day like that, and you're tired, you're physically sore, you're mentally sore, and then you're in an environment where you're not overly happy, and you're so far from home, you can see from a mental point of view, you can see what that can do to a lot of fighters, and you can understand why a lot of fighters just say, I'm done with this, this is not for me. But having a good team around you, like you can see Robbie Davies is brilliant in the gym, but I seen in America, when we went out with Robbie and stuff, the group that clicks together, we all click very well. Look, we can have the crack, we can all have a laugh, we can rip the piss out of each other, but we all have that trust that we all know what we're doing, and when it comes to the business side of things, we have all the boxes ticked off in the gym that we can relax and have the crack with each other, because we know that we've put in the work together. So yeah, it's good. It's I'm happy where I am now anyway.
Speaking obviously on tonight, obviously your second pro fight, SSE Arena. Obviously it's an arena. It's linked with a lot of history. Obviously with our Carl Framptons, with our Ryan Burnett's. Obviously the last time Queensbury were here, Nick Ball and obviously Anto cacace fought in the card. Anto was defending the ABO, and Nick Ball was sort of on that verge. They've now become world champions since. Like, you can obviously understand that boxing can move very quickly. Obviously you're very early on in your pro career, but you're going into an arena, I guess, will it probably feel like a debut sort of for you in a way, because you're going to probably hear a lot more Irish fans than you probably did in York Hall last time out?
Yeah, to be fair, I've not really thought much about it. To me, I'm just thinking of I'm in a ring with a guy with two arms that I gotta hit him in the head. So, yeah, look, I boxed all over the world as an amateur. So hopefully it won't feel too alien to me. But yeah, look, it's exciting. I think it'll be a nice atmosphere. I've never been in the SSC, but obviously I've seen some of the videos of the fights there. It looks a quality setup. So yeah, it's a good. First of all, it's a tough fight. So it's a tough second fight. And then to be on a nice show like this in a big arena, it's obviously I don't know what to say, pressure. Some would say it's a lot of pressure on, but at the end of the day, still to me, it's just boxing. So I'm looking forward to putting my name on the list of guys that's boxing the SSE, and hopefully just take this one off the box, get back out again quick, and yeah, just keep climbing. It's one big ladder, this boxing game. So it depends how quickly you can climb and eventually get to the top. So I'm hoping to climb pretty quick.
Well, then obviously on the fans, it's obviously travelling up. It's quite a distance. They're obviously having to travel. I've made that sort of distance in March there as well, so I know what the travelling's like. Obviously, that these, your fans, your friends, your family. Sometimes it's probably easier to say than fans. Your friends and your family come up to support you tonight. They obviously mean the world to you. Your message to them is you're going to try and get as close to home as possible. Obviously, your fights, but obviously it's that support. It means more than words, probably, to you.
Yeah, look, honestly, that was the main thing in the debut, that I hadn't fought in so long as an amateur. I was so inactive that I had almost forgot the big fan base that I have behind me. When I say like the big crowd that comes to support me, that on the debut it was actually like almost emotional to the point of view when I heard everyone shouting, and you could see, when you look up, you can see it wasn't just ones clapping and shouting for the sake of it. You could see genuine emotion in people. That you think, right, fucking when you're putting in the work, when you're cutting weight and you're putting in them runs and you're putting in that thing, you do think of it. You do think, look, I've got a lot of ones coming to watch me. I can't show up unfit. I can't cut corners. You gotta do it properly. Not that I'd want to do it anyway, but it just adds that little bit extra. Okay, I'm doing this for more than me, if that makes sense. You got people that are behind you, so you want to bring them all over the place. Hopefully get them a little trip to Vegas or something. Maybe one of these Saudi trips we did.
Nice, wouldn't it?
Like Saudi, I'd say some of them are like Saudi, alright.
I guess obviously one final question. Obviously, Anthony Josh is obviously part of 258 that obviously that you're managed by. Obviously, his fight with Daniel Dubois obviously was announced on Wednesday. There, are you going to be sort of calling in your first sort of favour as a 258 fighter now and making sure you have tickets for Wembley?
Oh, of course, I'll be there. I better be ringside for it. But nah, yeah, I'll be in Wembley. I'll be in Wembley. I'll be calling in. I've called in a few. I can't say my first one. I've called in a few favours off them, but yeah, definitely no. I was actually trying to call in a favour to Sequel to get me on the card, but nah, definitely I'll be looking to get into Wembley and watch AJ. Look, it's a credit having AJ linked to my name, and he does be actively involved in between fights with 258 and the management, and obviously he signs off on all my stuff. So I'm looking forward to watching the fight. First of all, just as a fan, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, definitely this. I'll be calling in a couple of favours to make sure I'm there.
Yeah, no, listen, thanks very much for your time. We'll hopefully get a chat with you later on. Obviously, I'm not sure of our access, obviously, in the arena. Hopefully, we can obviously be able to do some interviews, but hopefully I'll catch up with you later on this evening and see how it went for you.
Definitely, 100%. Look, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the support that you give. Also, like it's massive having someone like yourself just helping us push it out there, because, like I said before, the general media over here is just shocking with when it comes to boxing. Even back home, who always kind of give me a lot of media support. There is still a couple of them that I don't want to insult the ones that doesn't do it or that does do it, but there's a lot of like media you'll see they'll have tug of war competition up all over the media, and they won't even mention that you're boxing. So as a fighter, we're always grateful for the likes of yourself helping us spread the word and get out there. So 100% definitely we'll catch up with you after.
I'm guessing, obviously, like anything, obviously, the more your career is going to grow as well, they're going to come back involved as well. So I guess all you can do is focus on you, and you'll know the real ones. You know the real ones that's there, will support you throughout, but no doubt they'll obviously come back in the future once they see your talent coming to fruition.
Yeah, look, it's like everything in there. People will jump into, they'll hop on the train once it's moving fast. So you always kind of remember who was there though to help you when you were just starting out. So it'll stand down the line. So just always, I'm just grateful for the likes that are here now and that are supporting me, even sponsors and stuff like that. You have a lot that, oh yeah, we'll sponsor you once you've had X amount of fights, and it's like, okay, but it just makes you appreciate the ones that jumped on early. It makes you appreciate them that little bit more.
Listen, thanks very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your last couple of hours before fight night, and we'll hopefully catch up with you later.
Yes, thank you, gentlemen.
Cheers, Eoghan. Thank you.